everyone! If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and comment what type of content you would like to see next time. Also, only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking the video, consider subscribing. Check out the Patreon in the video description for more stories by my team. Enjoy the video!
I woke up feeling especially groggy. My head was throbbing ever so slightly and seemed to be lessening as I awakened. I blinked a few times and my vision became clearer. The night before I had gone out for a few drinks, at least that was my intention. As I looked around the room, it was clear that I was in someone else's house. I was in someone else's bed. I looked to the right and I could see quite a lot of brown hair draped over the bunched up covers. It seemed that I had taken home a lady friend last night. I slowly and gently went to set up in bed so as to not disturb my still unknown companion. As I did, things immediately felt different and quite strange. My entire body felt lighter, thinner, and much smaller. My chest had a subtle tugging feeling as my body position shifted upright. The brown hair that had been draped over the covers had moved with me and had now fallen onto and behind my shoulders. I looked down at my chest, and there where I had before known to be my well-defined chest, sat something much different. My heart sped up and I started to feel like I was in shock. I wanted to rationalize things. I was obviously still dreaming, right? This sort of thing simply does not happen. I laid back down and started counting sheep. Sometimes when I am under high periods of stress, my dreams play some weird tricks on me. They almost always seem real, and I have to convince myself that it is a dream and that I have to concentrate on something else to bring myself out of the dream. I laid back down and began to count down from 20. I managed to find a brief period of sleep and reawakened a short time later. I first noticed that I was in the same exact room. My heart rate sped up once again. I reached up and felt my chest. The breasts had flattened from me laying down, but were definitely still there. Now I was starting to panic. I quickly reached up to touch my face to find my beard was no more. I moved up to my forehead and hairline. The hair was long and soft. I brought it down in front of my face to see it was the same brown hair I had noticed before. It was much finer and softer than my hair had ever been in my life. I noticed my hands were much smaller and softer as well. Gone were the scars and calluses from working with my hands for years. My nails were expertly manicured and had a light shade of pink on them. I sat up quickly this time, no longer concerned about the possibility of another person being in the bed with me. I pulled the covers back and turned to sit on the side of the bed. Facing the wall, I noticed a doorway to what appeared to be the bathroom to my right. I got up quickly and made my way in, closing the door behind me. I turned the light on and found myself staring at a beautiful brunette in a mirror. When I moved, she moved. I grabbed at my chest again and she grabbed hers. I looked down to see I had on a pair of lavender panties, and so did she. I pulled them forward to find my worst shock yet. What I previously had was completely gone. A yelp escaped from my mouth and I immediately covered my mouth. The voice that had escaped was not my own, but that of a woman's. I was her and she was me. I was, to what my mind could comprehend at the time, apparent that I was now a woman standing in someone else's bathroom, in someone else's house. I was no longer 6 feet 5 inches and 250 pounds. I no longer had my wide shoulder frame. I no longer had my defined abdomen or even my hairy arms, legs, and chest. No, now my body had taken the shape of an hourglass silhouette. I wasn't tall anymore. I had to be somewhere around 5 feet 8 inches at the most. If I had to guess, I couldn't weigh more than 130 pounds. My legs were not defined, but more shapely down to my feet. My feet were smaller and narrow compared to my size 13. Now I had no clue what shoe size that I was or what size anything was for that matter. I heard the bed creak and someone get up out of the bed. I quickly looked around at my surroundings. On the counter was men's deodorant and cologne. Behind me was a shower with men's body wash and shampoo inside. To my right was a toilet with the toilet seat up. Definitely a man's bathroom. Definitely a man's bedroom. Whoever was in the room behind the door was stretching and let out a morning yell. I quickly turned on the water in the shower and jumped in, hoping that would buy me some time or privacy. The door opened and in walked a man that I had never seen before. He was taller than me, probably 6 feet 3 inches. He was very toned and mostly hairless. I would guess that he was about 200 pounds. His arms were covered with tattoos from his shoulders down to his wrists. He had a short haircut and a morning stubble growing on his face. He was also wearing nothing. He looked at me peering at him from behind the shower curtain and smiled. "Good morning. I see you back there. How about some company?" His smile never leaving his face, he reached towards the shower curtain to pull it back and make his way inside. What was I to say? I knew how to talk, but I didn't know how to use this voice yet. I no longer had my size and brute strength to oppose him with. He stepped into the shower and had his back to me before turning around to face me, still smiling. I had to admit, if I had to pick what a straight man would consider to be a charming smile, it would be his. But I was not charmed. I was freaking out. He looked down at me and started to laugh. "Are you in a hurry? You didn't even take off your underwear. Here, let me help you with that." He bent down and pulled off the soaked lavender panties that I had on. He picked up my legs one at the time to remove them from around my feet. His touch shocked me and I couldn't move. I could not believe I was in this situation. He straightened back up and looked me in the eyes. His left hand raised up and graced my face, and then he started coming forward for a kiss. I snapped out of my state of shock and stopped him with my hand. He kissed my hand instead. I had to stop this. Immediately. "I cannot do this with you." I let out a panicked response. I don't know who was more surprised at my voice, him or me. He leaned back and his face took on a concerned, curious expression. "Okay. We had a great time last night and I felt things were comfortable enough that I could be somewhat forward this morning. Especially since you helped yourself into my shower." He calmly explained his reasoning. I felt slightly better about things because he had backed off slightly instead of becoming more aggressive. I did not know what else to say to tell him the truth. He had talked about us having a great time last night. I had no memory of last night past my second drink. I certainly didn't remember seeing him the night before. This is going to sound crazy to you. I do not know you. I do not remember your name, having a great time last night, or anything about last night for that matter. I woke up this morning in this body. In the body of a woman. Until I woke up this morning, I had lived my entire life as a man. I managed to get it out and make eye contact throughout. His reaction went from being concerned to that of humor. I had clearly failed to get him to believe me. Hey, guys. This story is about to get super steamy. Part 2 can be found on my Patreon. Link is in the description. See you next time.